Milford softball was becoming to be on the map. My first 4 years, we definitely changed the atmosphere, and the winning tradition started from my first year, qualified from the playoffs and making to the district semifinals. And every year after that, we were getting better and better. And then when this group of freshmen came in, really stepped up our game, and it was new levels of Milford softball, and then the respect that we were gaining around the state, because we were playing in state semifinal games, we were playing in state final games, and we were getting noticed, and people were watching us play.
When I made the team as a freshman, I got brought up, I think it was 2 weeks after the season started maybe, and BMAC called me after I had my first JV game, and he told me, and like the first thing I said to him was really, like I didn't say like I wasn't thank you was my first thought, I was like really, and that was probably like the best night of my life. Like I was so excited. I went and like packed my bag for like practice next day and had Nicole Fournier, our captain. She came by, I got to put my bag in her car, and like I've been on, it was a really big day in the Hannah household. And I've been on like, I played varsity volleyball sophomore and junior year, and I did varsity track, and I mean like they're like cool and everything, like it's great to play varsity sport and it's a big deal, like home games are still like great and everything, but it's nothing compared to playing varsity softball. Like I know all of us our freshman year, like that was our goal, like we all kind of like were fighting each other for spots, but like we all wanted to play varsity softball, and I think definitely like that freshman year, like finally making the team, like it was like a big deal, and like going to like big games, our captains, Marissa DePaulo, Nicole Fournier, and Shannon's sister Andrea, they definitely prepared us and kind of like set us up for our future for the next 3 years, because they taught us why you need to come to practice every single day and work hard, and kind of made us into the leaders we are today. And I definitely don't, if we didn't have them our freshman year, I don't think we would have been the same people or had taught our team the way we did without them.
Given the opportunity to be on the team as a freshman and be able to look up to the seniors. I know the seniors my freshman year had a big impact on me. Shannon's sister, she would always encourage me every day to come and try to get better every day. And Nicole Fournier, she was a senior that year too. Me and her have still stayed pretty close, and she was always there encouraging me and just putting it in my mind that I can do whatever I want and that I'll be able to accomplish what I set out to do. And I'll never forget walking off the bus my freshman year after we lost that game. She looked at me and she said, "I'm all done now." She goes, "I just finished my last game of my high school career." She goes, "And you still have 3 more years." And she goes, "And you will walk off this bus a winner." And she was right. And that will stick in my mind no matter where I go, that if I put enough time and effort into something, that I will be able to accomplish it.
I was like on the outskirts looking in, I guess, because everyone already had their bond and like they were all like so ready for the game, and I hadn't been there all along, so I didn't know what it meant. And like definitely seeing like after they lost, like they were so upset and everything. And I remember like I wanted to be a part of it and like try to work hard with them. At the end of that sophomore year, it was against Shrewsbury. I got up and it was like some inning, the end of an inning, I don't know. And then, and then it was my at-bat, and it was like the longest at-bat in history because lightning struck. So I came back the next day and I hit a triple, and then like that was like solidified, like I can do this, I guess. And then like throughout like these past 2 years, I guess I found my place in the team, and like it really like you felt more comfortable, and like it really like knows you have an impact on everything.
I had a little bit of a different experience because my sister graduated in 2010, so her freshman year was actually BMAC's second year coaching, and I believe it was her sophomore year, they let me do the scoreboard, and I was in like 7th grade, so I was so excited to do that, and I got to be there and I watched the team, I went to every game, did the scoreboard, and I just had a blast. And then when I was in 8th grade, BMAC let me do the book in every game, so then I got to be on the bench and I got to be with all the girls and I did the book, and it was just awesome because like every day after school, and there's a game day because BMAC worked at Middle School East, so we would leave together and we'd go to the game, and I was always so excited and I loved it. So when my freshman year came around, it had seemed like I had been on the team or with the team for almost 2 years, and it was kind of, I was comfortable there. It felt like it was a good place to be, and I just had an awesome time because my freshman year was my sister's senior year, and she was like my idol growing up. So it was awesome to get to play with her in high school and have people like writing articles about us because like she was my best friend. So it was a really cool experience there.
The name Shannon Smith will be remembered in the halls of Milford High School and in the minds of Scarlet Hawks fans for years to come. Her list of accomplishments is a lengthy one. In 4 years, she amassed 86 wins and only 4 losses. She pitched multiple perfect games and no-hitters, and in her senior year, the star pitcher etched her name into the state record books by finishing her high school career with 1,219 strikeouts, the most ever by a Massachusetts softball pitcher.
I've played through my high school career on basically 2 different teams, the Rhode Island Thunder Gold and the East Coast Firecrackers. So I don't know, I've traveled a lot and played a lot of softball and played girls across the country, so it kind of gave a lot of perspective, I guess, to high school softball because you're facing the same girls pretty much every year, and you're seeing like a lot of the same hitters and a lot of the same teams every single year, as opposed to like that where you're facing girls that you've never seen or heard of before, and it's just completely, it's kind of really opposite experiences, but I think they both have a good and a bad side.
Shannon, Caroline, Lauren, Elizabeth, and their fellow senior captain Rachel Levine did not have to wait long to get their first taste of varsity-level competition. All 5 of the girls made the varsity squad their freshman year, and it turned out to be a very memorable season for all of them. The team rolled through the regular season without suffering a single defeat. They continued to enjoy success all the way through the MIAA playoff tournament en route to a trip to the state championship game, where they would match up against an opponent that would quickly become their arch nemesis, King Philip Regional High School. The girls would fall in the championship game by a final score of 10-1. Though the girls would make it right back to the playoffs their sophomore year, they would lose to King Philip again in that regular season, and ultimately they would bow out of the playoffs in the state semifinal round. That setback would serve as a wake-up call to the core players on the team.
We've all been on the team since we were freshmen, so I mean, I definitely think that like helped. I mean, and like we've all like played together when we were younger, and we've all gone along. We all had one goal.
As a group, we all knew what our common goal was, and it wasn't, none of us had different views on what we ultimately wanted to accomplish, and we set out to what we wanted to do, and we did it.
Well, we kind of each set like individual goals, so it wasn't really like, it was like stepping stones to get there, and we weren't really like focusing the whole entire time on the game. So we weren't like cocky enough to get there, so we were like accomplishing each of our goals, and then like eventually it was the big like game for us.
I think that just having a loss, because we went undefeated, so it kind of almost seemed like we just made a little bit of a mistake our freshman year in the championship game, and that's why we lost, and we were undefeated. And so I think maybe without consciously thinking about it, some people were kind of like, well, we were undefeated last year, so we can be undefeated again, and we'll make it to the state championship again because that was easy last year. We got there without too much struggle, and we just happened to make a mistake and we lost. So I think then our sophomore year, when we lost in the state semifinal game, I think it kind of solidified the fact that it's not easy to get to the state championship game, and that you have to put in a lot more work than you might have originally thought to get there. And I think that just having like those 2 huge losses, one year and then the next year, kind of really made our class especially, and even the class above us, because they experienced it as well, really want the championship and really wanted to get there and kind of solidify, like, we've gotten so close twice, we need to actually finish it this time. So I think that those 2 losses kind of fueled the fire just a little bit extra.
And so the Scarlet Hawks embarked on the 2012 season with renewed determination. Just as they'd done in 2010, Milford finished up the regular season with a perfect record. Knowing that anything less than a state title would be a disappointment, the girls mowed down Wachusett, Leominster, Holy Name, and Agawam by a combined run differential of 39-1. For the second time in 3 years, the girls punched their ticket to Worcester State University, standing just 1 win away from achieving their ultimate goal. The final opponent standing in their way? The Malden High School Golden Tornadoes.
Having the chance to go back to Worcester State where the game was being played It was our goal at the beginning of the season, and playing Malden, a team we really didn't know too much about. The only thing we did know is they had an outstanding pitcher. She went to Providence College on a scholarship to pitch there. Wow. This past year she pitched there. So we knew we were going to be in for a battle. It was going to be a challenge to find a way to score some runs off her. But at the same time, we knew we had Shannon on the mound for us, so there was going to be a challenge for them to find a way to score runs. So it was a 0-0 game through the first 7 innings.
With the regulation 7 innings in the books and no runs on the scoreboard, Milford and Malden would embark on extra innings to determine who would walk away with the coveted championship trophy. Finally, in the bottom of the 9th inning, it was Caroline Fairbanks who sparked a Scarlet Hawks rally by collecting her 3rd hit of the ballgame. Later in the inning, with Fairbanks in scoring position, an unlikely hero would emerge. Taylor LeBrun, just a freshman at the time, would send a 2-strike pitch up the middle that just barely snuck through for a base hit. With Fairbanks hustling around third, the Milford fans held their collective breath as Malden sent the ball back in for a play at the plate. With a feet-first slide, Caroline would be safe, and the Scarlet Hawks dashed toward home plate to celebrate. The thing that had eluded them the previous 2 seasons was finally theirs, a Massachusetts softball state championship.
People going crazy. I was going crazy, I know that. I know these girls are going
There's
crazy.
pictures of it.
Yeah, but it was, I told these girls too, and I said it to them afterwards, it was the coolest part of the whole day. Definitely winning was great, but going out to the outfield, we always meet in the outfield after every game. And we were meeting out in left field talking just about the accomplishment and how excited I was for them, and we get to share this, and for the rest of our lives we can always be remembered as state champions. And looking back after we said we go 1, 2, 3, we say it together at the end of every game, we turn back and look and it's covered. I mean, we're talking hundreds of Milfordians and fans of Milford softball just waiting for us to come back and celebrate with them, and that to me was just a real special piece of the evening, and a special part of the evening was going back and seeing all the family and friends and supporters of our season. Looking back at 2012, I think it was a culmination of a lot of hard work and effort that we put in going back to 2010, when we had a team that was undefeated going to the state title game and unfortunately losing in the state title game and getting that far and so close to accomplishing your ultimate goal, and to feel the feeling we had that day of hurt and disappointment and frustration, and to take that into the next season and get to a state semifinal game in 2011 and end up falling short again. That kind of was the fuel that we needed going into 2012, and we just had a great group of girls and the pieces we put together for an outstanding team, and all these girls can definitely attest to it, that it was a special feeling when that winning run scored and Caroline Fairbanks slid through home and it was safe, and we got the 1-0 victory over Malden. It was an outstanding season, capped off by an outstanding game, and just an unbelievable way to finish it with a walk-off fashion.
Heading into their final year of Milford High School softball, the 5 senior captains had been to the playoffs 3 times and now had a championship trophy in their case. There was only one way to bring their high school careers to a fitting conclusion: win the whole thing again. The road wouldn't be quite so smooth in 2013. A tough extra inning loss to North Attleboro High School ensured there would not be a second consecutive perfect season. But that loss only fueled the girls' competitive fire. In their very next game, Shannon Smith would pitch a perfect game against the Attleboro Lady Bombardiers, while the Scarlet Hawks offense exploded for 13 runs on 14 hits in what became a mercy rule shortened contest. Milford would allow just a single run to their opponents for the rest of the entire season. Once again, they marched into the MIAA playoff tournament, dispatching every opponent in their way. On June 15, 2013, they found themselves in what had become familiar territory, playing at Worcester State University in the state championship game.
I wasn't as nervous, I don't think. I mean, not because we won it before, it wasn't a cocky feeling. It was more of I was confident that we were able to get it done. I was more excited to play. I mean, more sad that I knew either way it'd be my last game, but I was more excited to go out with a big win.
I think there was definitely more pressure on the game because I'm pretty sure every single person on our team, maybe with the exception of the freshmen because they weren't there last year, but I think everyone just wanted that pressure to be we did it twice, we did it back to back. So I think there was a little bit of extra added pressure, can they go back to back, can they do it? But I think also there was an added calmness because we'd been at Worcester State and we'd been in this situation for us as seniors. We'd been there 3 times. Well, it was our 3rd time, but for a lot of the girls on the team, it was their second time, and there's only like 3 or 4 people on our team that had never been to Worcester State before. So I think that us being there and us experiencing Worcester State in the atmosphere more than once also added an extra level of calmness to us, because we'd been there and we had been in that game, whereas Agawam hadn't been there. So it was, I think it was a little bit of an advantage for us because we knew what to expect.
I think the experience definitely was the biggest advantage for us at that point in the season. Being able to have a core group of seniors, and like Shannon said, a core group of girls that also, the underclassmen that have been there before and experienced it. The emotions, the excitement, they play into it. You know, as much as it's a physical game, it's also a mental game, and that's a big portion of it. And the experience, I continue to say to our coaching staff and reporters that were asking me, I felt the experience was something that we had to use to our advantage because we had been there before and we had done it. So it was a matter of just going out there and letting your ability show and play the game. And as soon as that first pitch is thrown, it's still softball. And that's the big message I continue to send to the girls going up to that game is after that first pitch is thrown, the nerves are going to settle down and we're just going to play softball and we're going to find a way to win this game.
Going into that game that we knew we were confident with each other. We knew that if one person couldn't get the job done, then the next person would step up and they would do their best to try to get the job done. And we did. It went from the seniors on down to the freshmen.
We did have some people on base. Fairbanks was on base. We had some other players on base to threaten in the early innings, but we weren't able to capitalize. The 6th inning, we had 2 outs with Ali Pigastavo on first base. She drew a walk, a great at bat, battled the count full and found a way to get on base with a walk. And then we had our freshman up. And just eerie to think the previous year in 2012, we had a freshman get the game-winning hit. And a freshman this year, Jill Powers, with 2 strikes, hits a double to left center gap that scores Allie all the way from first base in the bottom of the 6th. And then Shannon's got to go out there and get us 3 more outs, and she did that. So it was just another crazy way to end the game, and sort of another storybook ending to finish off the 2013 season. But something that, again, I know these girls won't forget.
In 4 years, Coach Macchi and his core of star players carved out a legacy of success that most high school programs can only dream of. 4 years, 4 trips to the playoffs, 3 appearances in the state finals, back-to-back titles, and 1 perfect season. With so many years of incredible achievements, it seems an impossible task to decide which of those moments were the most memorable.
Well, definitely winning both state championships. I've never been so happy and accomplished.
I think that one of my favorite moments was this year in the state championship. After we scored our run in the 6th inning, there was a lot of pressure to kind of go back out and pitch and get the next 3 batters out for them because then we won it if I did that. So I've always said that I like pressure, and I kind of think that sometimes I thrive in it a little more. And my probably favorite moment was that their probably best hitter on the Agawam team, Riley Wieners, also their catcher, was their 3rd batter up that inning, and I struck her out and she looked at the 3rd strike, so that was awesome.
Way back to my freshman year, hitting the game-winning hit against Amherst to get us to a state championship was pretty memorable for me.
That was a good one, yeah.
It was tied. It was 0-0 in extra innings, and our senior captain that year, Marissa DePaulo, led off with a double, and I had struck out twice against this girl, and I was determined to make contact. I didn't really care where the ball went, and I ended up getting a single to right field, and she ended up scoring, and we held on to win.
My memory, and it'll always be that, is Fairbanks sliding into home plate in the 2012 state championship. Just like I said, it just finished off that first goal of winning a state title, and to see it happen in that fashion, it's just a storybook ending to an unbelievable run, and that memory will definitely stick with me.
Definitely beating King Philip at home junior year. They were the state champions when we were freshmen and sophomores, and they were undefeated sophomore year. We lost to them sophomore year, we lost to them freshman year in the state finals, and I don't think I've never been, well, I obviously got fired up for the state championship, but that was like the first game since freshman year for the state championship that I was actually so excited to actually beat them. I really wanted that win, and there were so many people there. It was just a great atmosphere.
It will be a brand new era of Milford softball when the team takes the field in 2014. The core of girls who propelled the Scarlet Hawks to so much success have all moved on to the next stage in their lives. There will also be a new face at the helm of the softball program. After 8 seasons, in which he transformed the Scarlet Hawks from a team toiling in obscurity to one that was ranked in the top 50 nationwide, Coach Macchi decided to make 2013 his final season as Scarlet Hawks head coach.
I look back and I think 8 years was an unbelievable experience. I said to these girls, and I said to everyone last night at the banquet, that I think about all the players that have put on the uniform and how much they've meant to the program and our success, but how much they've meant to me and really impacted me in a positive way. I've learned a lot through my interactions and relationships with them, and definitely have grown up through my 8 years coaching softball, because the first day I took that job, I was a single man. And 8 years later now, I'm married and I have 2 kids, Avery and Emma. Avery's 3, Emma's 1, and my wife Shelly. We've been married 4 years now, so it's crazy to say that I've grown up in this position, and I've become the man I am through this position, and being able to, like Lizzie said, being able to be with 16 teenage girls on a daily basis for 3 months, you learn a lot about yourself. And the one word I think I've learned is what Shannon just said, is I've learned the importance of patience. And I think it's a very good life lesson to go forward and be able to learn that at such an early point in my life. But I am very patient as a result of my interactions with these ladies, for the good. Seeing these girls be able to set a goal for themselves to want to win their last game they played as seniors, and to accomplish that is something special, because a lot of athletes go through school, and there's a lot of sports being played in high school level, and unfortunately that last game you play isn't a game you win. And these 4, and Rachel Levine's not here with us today, unfortunately, but she's going to be going to Boston University next year to play softball. Another one of our senior captains played center field for us. These 5 girls get to say they won their last game for a state title, and in addition, back-to-back state titles. So it's something that they can take with them the rest of their lives, and definitely special for them.